What do you think? Some of the top 2 or 3 reasons that what coaches voted Bergen for Player of the Year this year.
Top reasons, I would say, obviously, I think our consistency of success throughout the Big Ten season. I think the offensive production of every player and the balanced offense, and then I also think just Bergen is a great all-around volleyball player, and the way she affects winning and losing is pretty instrumental.
This is obviously your first postseason with this group. What, I guess, changes within your messaging or anything like that compared to the regular season this time of year?
It's an interesting team because I don't feel like we have to be humbled or anything. I feel like this team is very humble, especially for the amount of success we've had. So, I don't feel like they need to be pumped up. I just think our messaging is going to be pretty consistent to what it's been the whole year. We're going to play a lot of great teams. We got to continue to trust what we've been doing. That's made us great. And I don't know. I think it's just going to be the same. I think
Have you learned anything different from your time the past couple of years in the postseason tournament? You're doing differently now?
No, not really. We've really been very similar across the board. I think, the stress is heightened. Your emotions are a little bit heightened, but it's still just volleyball, and what's gotten us to this point is what will continue our success. We don't want to stray away from any of that.
Why'd you give them Monday off? And is that kind of common practice for you, or?
Yeah, we've done that the last few years with my teams, and I just think this gets to be a long week where you're practicing, but you're just so excited for the first game, and it feels like you're waiting. And so I always felt like Monday is a good day where you can get things organized in your personal life, and then you can be a little more focused for the rest of the week leading up to the match. And we also haven't had any back-to-back days off this year, so I thought it would be a good week for it, and I think those always end up paying off. And we've had a pretty brutal travel season, so I think it was just a combination of all of that.
Dani, congratulations on Big Ten Coach
Thank
of the
you.
Year. What does it mean to you to receive that award in your first year here?
Yeah, I mean, it means a ton, and there's obviously, it's not really an individual award. I know it says it is, but it certainly doesn't feel like it this year. So with the staff and the job they've done, and John leaving a great team, and at a time when he knew that we'd be really successful, it means a lot. But it really doesn't feel like I was Big Ten Coach of the Year. It feels like the Big Ten staff or group of the year, whatever you want to call it.
What seems like this team's ability to not let emotions get too high or too low, how has that been so beneficial to the success?
It's been huge. That goes back to leadership. And, I think Becca's grown a ton just from an outsider's perspective, watching her the last 3 years, just, keeping her emotions super even keeled. I think that the whole junior class has done a great job. And yeah, I've been saying it too. When we hit the lows, it wasn't for very long, and the highs were what they were. We've just been very, very consistent with the play and our mentality.
Do you feel the same, I guess, weight of expectations the same way as a player might this time of year, I guess, just given where you guys are?
I think the players probably feel it more, to be honest, because they're the ones that they're seeing and reading and hearing more of the outside noise. I think as a coach, you're a little more focused on the task at hand, and there's a lot, especially into these tournament weekends where you're prepping for 3 teams in 3 days, so there's a lot that goes into that, and you're still doing the other parts of your job. So I certainly can empathize with the players that they're feeling a lot of pressure and expectations, and I think that's a staff's job to take as much of that off of them as we possibly can, whether it's through messaging, the way we coach, the way we're communicating.
What were the lows of this season that you speak of?
There weren't really too many lows. Just in general, there's there's things here and there. People get tired, a little banged up, but yeah, there really weren't too many lows. But that's what I mean. We were out of them quick.
Couple more.
Do you feel like, obviously the mindset right now is just a championship or bust mentality?
Do I feel that that's the mindset? Yes, I do. On the other hand, Becca's been saying this a lot, which coming from her, I think means a little bit more, that she doesn't want to like any joy to be taken away from this group, if the outcome isn't what we all want it to be. And I think that's a great mentality to have going into the tournament, that we wanna really soak up these next, hopefully, 3 weeks together, and you don't wanna wish them away or be stressed about them. We just really wanna enjoy it and, continue to, max each other out.
Danny, you've been really creative with your lineups and played a ton of players throughout the regular season. Do you see some of that continuing now that it's the tournament?
I've said it all year, what's made us successful to this point, that's part of it. So I don't think you're gonna see the same 7, 8 players every single match.
How as a staff do you handle prepping for the three teams?
How
as a staff do you handle prepping for 3 teams in 1 week? Do you divvy up
we
responsibilities?
divvy it up a little bit, Jalen and Brennan and Kelly all kind of, take their roles, but we keep it the same. It's just a little bit extra work for everybody because it is multiple teams. Usually we're prepping for 2, so now we're prepping for 3.
Rebecca said yesterday was a little bit of a struggle in practice. I mean,
I love it when
is that good to see that they're still trying to find those gears to raise their play a bit? Or?
Yeah, for sure. And it's good that they recognize it, but again, we're not, it's not a point where we're having to really get on each other. It's just like, hey, we gotta recognize this is not good and not our standard, and we gotta change it. So, talking about the lows. So we had a low in practice, but we got out of it. We ended on a great note.
What does Brennan add to this coaching staff?
Brennan's been great, and, he's pretty innovative, and the way, he's always wanting to try new things, and, I think the way he communicates with the middles has been super beneficial. He's just calm, but he's really a clear communicator. But he's been awesome, and, it's funny, I was teasing Jalen, like, you got a lot to live up to. Look at these middles attack percentages. Let's get those pins back up there. So it's fun to have a little competition between our staff and the position coaches.
All right, thanks everyone.
Thank you.